on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our small contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Now, today we're back inside of our Web3Py favorites module. We're going to pick up where we left off from yesterday, and that was inside of the project introduction section of the module. So we're going to pick up with some light reading, and then I'm going to run some code for you. So now that we have our HTTP provider object, we can create our contract object. To initialize a Web3 instance, we have to actually connect to a blockchain node. And right here, we are using a Sepolia test node from Tenderly as our provider to do so. Note, later on in this module, we will go over a method that doesn't require this step at all. We will use an easier approach to do this problem. But for now, this is what we'll be using. Again, to check our work is correct so far, we will print out the favorites contract object. This will look like this. We have to print favorites contract. So this is what we're going to run. This is the code I told you we're going to be running after I'm done some light reading. We will then run our code in the terminal to see what we get. If everything is correct, you should see the following output. You have class web3.utils.database or datatypes.contract. This is the string interpretation or the print interpretation of the favorites contract object. What this is basically saying is that the favorites contract object is a contract object or type contract. Now we have successfully created our contract object and we're ready to start interacting with it. So let's head over here to the actual file. We're not actually deploying a contract, we're just running it regularly. So I'm going to use a Python interpreter. I'm not going to use the UV version of it that would deploy to a UV chain. So I'm just going to regularly run it. And it's still going to throw an error because we're not deploying it to any network. And it's still going to expect gas fees and all that stuff, which we're not adding. We just want to take a look at this favorites contract here and see what we get back from the favorites contract. So we're going to let this compile and everything should come through and I can show you exactly what it's working with. And again, it should be right on top of the print building a transaction. So we'll see the building transaction in the terminal. We're going to look on top of that and we should see our favorites contract classification, because that's what this is. We're printing up the classification of the favorites contract. So as soon as this compiles, I should have compiled it before we actually started the video, but I want you guys to see it live. So we're going to go ahead and let this compile. Shouldn't take too much longer. And again, we're running a video, so it takes a while while we're running the video and we're compiling at the same time. And has a lot to go through because it's running the entire contract still, trying to process this transaction when we're not actually running the transaction. So you can see that first thing printed, the long-lived gates, and there it is there. So let's go back up. So let's actually go to our terminal here. Of course, it still failed, like I said, because of the gas. But we'll go up here to here is the build transaction. So you can see here the building the transaction. That's this print building the transaction. And right on top of that should be the favorites contract classification. And you can see the class web3.utils.datatypes contract, letting us know that this contract is of type contract. So basically that's how we can tell what the classification of the contract is. So that's what that is so far. We're gonna go ahead and comment this back out because we're not really using it in the code. It wasn't really a purpose to it. We're just using it to make sure our code was compiling correctly. And everything is done, we're going to move forward. Of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, it's the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.